What do you know about the Bleed Bow Gladiator? Probably not very much, except that it's a very weak and not popular build. And to be honest, I used to think so too, but one day I decided to give it a chance. After which I realized that it is not so bad and weak and play it quite fun and interesting. We can easily clear almost any map. And at the same time we have pretty good damage against bosses. So if you want to know more about the Bleed Bow Gladiator, its strengths and weaknesses, then definitely watch this video to the end. I think you will like it and find it useful. We use two skills, Split Arrow for mapping and Puncture for single targets. I will start with Puncture, as single target is a very important aspect of the game, and this skill will help us kill bosses very easy and quickly. Puncture can deal 1.5 to 2 million bleed DPS, but to be honest that's not very impressive numbers, and that's why we combine this skill with Exile. Pretty mediocre unique helmet, but it gives us the channeling skill Snipe, which amplifies our Puncture. Snipe deals 120% more damage with ailments per stage and 165% more damage with hits per stage. Maximum up to 6 stages, which ends up giving us some insane damage numbers. So in my build, Puncture deals almost 150 million damage per bleed. But unfortunately that's not DPS, but total damage per arrow, and overall DPS will be quite low, around 19 million, which is a pretty good number for me. As I said before, Snipe is a channeling skill, and to get 6 stages we need some time to charge it, so it is not the most comfortable skill to use. So be prepared for it to be tricky in the beginning, and you'll need some practice to use it optimally and deal maximum damage. We use Split Arrow to clear maps, and the main purpose of this skill is to hit as many targets as possible, bleed them to explode afterwards. What a nice sound! This is how enemies explode if they're dying and have bleeding on them. Thanks to our ascendancy we have a very good map clearing. As you can see right now, this build can even deal with 80 to 100% delirium maps, and with regular T16 maps you won't have any problems at all. As for items, in addition to Exile, you will need Wristleth's Coil and Circle of Anguish. Wristleth's Coil is the best belt for this build, and Circle of Anguish gives us 2.5 million DPS, and I think that's a very important and useful ring. Also we need this bow. Ideal if you can find it with implicit bleeding, you inflict deals damage faster. This is a very important stat for us because it increases our DPS and allows us to do more damage in a short period of time. That's why I use this timeless jewel, which is perfect for us. So if you want to build a Bleed Bow Gladiator, try to find this one. Impossible Escape, another unique jewel that allows us to save some skill points. And of course the clusters. You'll need 2 large clusters, 4 medium clusters, and 1 small cluster. As for the rest of the items, they are rare items that basically give us life and resistances. Personally, I would like to add more spell suppression to this build, but unfortunately it's hard and very expensive. In addition, we can't get 100% spell suppression chance in this build. But that doesn't mean we have bad defense and will die from random white mobs. We have relatively good defense, we use determination, we have 27% chance to evade attacks, Molten Shell, almost 5,000 life, and Fortify, which we get thanks to 2 unique jewels. And if I could add 100% spell suppression to it, it would be a perfect build for me, but unfortunately it is what it is. I also experimented with another skill tree. With this one we can get 100% spell suppression chance, but unfortunately we lose 8 million DPS. But that could be an alternative if you don't mind losing some damage but gaining more defense. When I started this build I was very skeptical and honestly didn't believe in it. But I really wanted to try it because I hadn't played it before. But in the end I was really happy with it. Playing it fun and interesting, and in spite of the fact that it is not a popular build, it showed quite decent results. It has its weaknesses, of course. We don't have super defense and 100 million DPS. Boss battles are very difficult because we have to press a lot of buttons, charge our Puncture, place a totem with ensnaring arrow to maximize damage, and use frenzy to get frenzy charges. Also, this is clearly not a budget build, and you'll need 40 to 50 divine orbs if you want to build it. But we have a very fast and good map clearing, and you definitely won't get killed by random arch-nemesis mobs. You will be able to kill all non-Uber bosses and even some Uber bosses such as Uber Maven. So if you always wanted to try this build but something always stopped you, I can assure you, go for it. I think you will not regret it. That's all for now, and I hope you enjoyed my video. I would be very grateful for your likes and subscriptions. And see you in the next videos.